Hello and welcome to the next video of our Build the Back to the Future DeLorean series, and it is Back to the Future weekend. I am playing catch up from that weekend where I didn't have any parts because they were delayed, so you'll be getting 3 Back to the Future videos this weekend, 2 official part videos and 1 third-party parts video which will go up later today. So without further ado, let's look at what comes in issue 46 and issue 47. So issue 46 comes with these pieces that you see here. We've got 2 big red buttons which go on the top of the dashboard, which we'll attach first. And then we have more dashboard parts here with this really nice attention to detailing part there. Very cool. More LED parts, of course, for this section, which is the plutonium chamber counter. It's set to nearly empty, and all these dials and stuff are really nicely done. Much clearer than the speedometer we saw last time. Really like it, and I love the fact that they're 3D and not just printed on, they're actually molded on. So that is gorgeous. So like I said, the first thing we're going to be doing is looking at this part here, which is very simple to attach. Peg, screw hole in there like that. Flip it around and just attach it into this hole there with an AP screw. Sorry, I said AP screw there, it's actually a BP screw. But yeah, you know, very nice, very nicely molded again, really close to the really nice matching the dashboard. Very nice indeed. We'll move on then to the part that will go here, which is this piece. Flip it around and you see there's a groove on the outside. That is to hold this piece here. You just pop it in there like that. You see it's got screw holes and connectors there. This time you do use AP screws to secure that in. Just like that. Yeah, very nice indeed. So moving on, and I know you know what's coming next. It's putting in the LEDs. So for the LEDs, we've got this one here, this one here, and this one here. And they just match up there, and you see there's a little tiny groove either side. Can you see it there just by my finger? There, and there, hidden away. Just pop this part into the groove like that. Fits very nicely. Yeah, very secure actually, which is awesome. And then we get this and just thread this part through and pop it on there like that. Flip it around and it's got 2 big screw holes there, which we attach it with. And it will look like that. And I really love the silver paint on this. Very metallic, gorgeous, and it's got some very subtle wear and tear as well. Or that might just be a fingerprint. And I haven't actually looked much at the detailing on this dashboard. You see you've got a speaker here, which is very nice, and then we've got the air vents that will warm up the windshield in winter weather. It is really very nicely done, especially that speaker, gorgeous. And of course all these added things add to it, make it look really nice. So the final part of this issue involves us flipping it over here. And you may remember I nearly forgot to do this last time, and that is we separated these 2 wires with this part here. This connecting part goes into this smaller part. Just need to make sure that I get it the right way. I believe it's this way. And just pop it in there like that. The smallest connection I've ever had to do on any of these models. But yet that is all secure. Goes in very well. And then of course, to make sure that this doesn't flap about, we've got another 2 holes there for another one of these. So we just pop the wire in there, push this part in and attach it with an AP screw, which again I had to do off camera because it is so small. But yeah, Very nice. And I know that I keep talking about it whenever we do something that has these two parts, but it's such a good design because the wire has movement. And I love that. Love that. So yeah, that's all connected so that these two lights, these two LED parts will shine at the same time when you turn them on, which is awesome. And also this part here will shine as well, I believe. Yes. Oh no, that's a different cable. So you got this yellow and orange cable for the 88 miles an hour clock, and then all the instruments are with this yellow and white cable, which is pretty awesome. So that is what it looks like at the end of 46. So moving on to issue 47, it may not be super clear what these parts are, but if I bring in this one, yes, we are moving on to the steering wheel. Freaking amazing. And the first part of the steering wheel is what you see here. So these are the indicator switches and the windscreen wiper switches. I've already put them in because I've put them in the right way, in the right direction. You then get this second housing unit to go with this first housing unit, and you just place it over there, making sure that the switches can move. They are on a little ball joint, so they can move there, which is pretty awesome. And of course we have these. This one stays up there like that, and this one comes down. I'm not sure whether they're meant to be. This one's meant to be loose and this one's meant to be straight, stiffer, but that's the way it is. Now the instructions say to attach it with AP screws, but you don't use AP screws, you use BP screws because AP screws are too small, and you just put them into the screw holes there like that. Really simple. They go in really nicely. Make sure they're nice and tight. That one is. I'm not sure I've got that one as tight as it can be. Now I have. There we go. And that one is stiffer now. So yeah. Very cool. Very nice indeed. So we get the dashboard back and we flip it around this way. So we've got these two holes there. And then we get this part of the steering wheel, flip it around, and it will just attach there like that with some screws. And there we go. That is attached there, and these levers move, which is awesome. Such a shame that we don't have that. But yeah, there we go. Very nice indeed. So the next stage requires us covering up all of these wires and covering up this hole here. And we just get this part and we place it around there like that, making sure not to get any of the said wires as we do it. I don't think we have. Yeah, pretty awesome. And then of course you attach it with that hole, that hole, that hole, and this hole, and you use FP screws for that. Oh no, stop. I forgot a step. Before we attach this part, we need to flip it around and we need to attach something there just to make sure that the steering wheel column does go in securely. So we just need to pop this little piece over there and screw that in with BP screws. There we go. So you see that that hole is now smaller because of this part. Now that that's done, we can now attach it back as we were doing, this way, to the rest of this dashboard piece. And there it is, all attached at the bottom there. Looking very nice. Oh no. That's really frustrating. You can see that it's got leather detailing. These parts aren't leather. Oh no, on this side as well. I'm just going to ignore that. I'm just going to pretend that I didn't see that. So yeah, that is the dashboard all done, and this part of the steering wheel all intact. We then need to get to this part here. Now, up until this point, all of these parts have been plastic. This part is actually metal, which is pretty sweet. And of course, you know where this is going. Oh, now as you can see, there is a cable there. So make sure you move all the cables out the way. Push this part through there, and through there, and through there. Now it does come out quite a way, but it needs to go at about there. And actually there is a little ridge, there, which I think the steering wheel will rest on, which is pretty cool. You see it's got a square peg on the end as well. It is not a circle. It's got a square peg. And of course this matches the square peg for the steering wheel. And we just pop the steering wheel on. And that is incredibly loose. Oh, but there is a screw hole there. Okay, that's fine. So swing it around. Oops. Oh, it's all falling apart. Okay, so there we go. I mean, it is jetting out far more than it should be, but the steering wheel needs to be in this position on the square peg so that it angles directly downward like that, you see. And of course if you do push it too far it will pop off, so just be wary of that. So to stop that from happening, oh, it has happened. Okay, so this part angled down there like that. Just gonna push a BP screw into there. A BM screw, sorry, not a BP, because it is metal on metal. Problem with steering wheels is that they turn. Right, be right back. And there we have it. The wheel finally secure. Very spinny wheel, which is pretty cool. There is one more step, of course, and that is to cover that really ugly screw head with this part here, which has some really nice simple buttons. Not sure what these buttons do, but I really like it. It looks a bit like Darth Vader-y buttons, doesn't it, with the red and the green there, which is very cool. And of course you just match up the two peg holes with these two peg holes, get this shape correct, and just pop it on there like that. And that's the steering wheel all done. Gorgeous. Very, very nice indeed. I really like all these instruments. You know, these are meant to be in there, so I'm just going to place them there like that. You know, it looks really, really nice. Really gorgeous, and I love the way that these parts move ever so slightly, and the steering wheel steals. Very cool indeed. Just going to take that part out before it gets stuck. Yeah, this is going with the rest of the interior of the DeLorean. I reckon it will all look pretty good when you put it together. Oh hey, it just so happens that the next stage is to put it all together on there. So finally I know how much of this to cut off. Oh, the leather. These aren't leather. Oh, I wonder if I can... No. No, just leave it. I made the decision. I'm sticking with it. So yeah, I'm just going to cut off this leather, and then we'll attach the dashboard to the main center part of the interior of the DeLorean. And yeah, let's have a look at what that all looks like together now. And I think, well, I hope you agree with me. It is looking pretty awesome. Let's put that steering wheel back. Yeah, look at that. And you know what? I don't mind so much that these parts aren't leather now that it's all together, because it matches the dashboard. Looking great. These move. The wheel moves. If we get that replacement part, that will look really nice. Just the black there. And then moving on to the silver of the futuristic stuff, like the time readouts and the plutonium gauge. And if we just stick these red parts up there like that, like the red matching the red buttons there, looking great. Yeah, looking really great. Such a great couple of weeks we have had with this DeLorean, apart from the parts not turning up. I really hope though that with all these wires going all the way through here, I really hope all the electrics work, because it's going to be an absolute pain to take any of this apart to replace it with parts that do work. So I really hope that all the electrics work. It'd be good to actually be able to test them throughout the process, but we haven't been able to do that. So yeah, I just really hope that they all work. And yeah, I hope that if you are building along, that you are just as in awe of all this as I am, and I hope you have had fun doing it, and I hope you have had fun watching me do it. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. This is the end of this video, but there is still a lot more DeLorean to come this weekend. A little later on today, like I say, we're going to be looking at our first lot of third-party parts for the DeLorean. And if that kind of thing doesn't float your boat, join me tomorrow, where we're going to be looking at what comes in issue 48 and issue 49. I tell you now, it is a lot of cables, and I will warn you, you might want to set a whole heap of time aside for tomorrow's video, because I decided to do something different and really go easy on the editing, so you'll see just how complicated attaching all those cables and wires will be. So that is going to be a largely uncut video tomorrow. I haven't finished editing it yet, so I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be pretty lengthy, so just to give you a little warning, that's what you're facing tomorrow. So I hope I'll see you then or later on today. Until then guys, take care, bye bye.